AEW Dynamite last night was quite eventful. It was the penultimate show before Double or Nothing 2024, which is shaping up to be a pretty big pay-per-view for the company, but I think they just made a pretty risky decision that I'm seeing them face a fair bit of criticism for doing, and a lot of other stuff happened as well, so like the video and welcome back to another weekly AEW Dynamite recap. Let's get into the show. We open with Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson of the Blackpool Combat Club taking on Kyle Fletcher and Jeff Cobb, and this match started out in an awesome way as the two teams brawled on the outside whilst Bryan's music continued to play as the match hadn't officially started, and it was a load of fun. It was good vibes, and they got very far into the song, maybe like 2 minutes before they finally made it into the ring and the match begun. And this match was a wild brawl from start to finish. All four of these guys are great workers and it's hard to have a bad match with these guys on TV. I will say though, unless I missed an explanation somewhere, I don't know why Jeff Cobb was in this match. There may have been something on social media to explain, but that needs to be on TV, and again, I might be wrong, there might have been something I just missed, but I don't know why he was there. Danielson and Mox get the win, and post-match the other two men and Takeshita beat them down, but Claudio comes in and clears the ring, and I'm sensing a trios match in the future, maybe next week. We then see Adam Copeland enter as he's set to call out Malachi Black, but before he's able to do that, he's attacked by Brody King and Buddy Matthews before Malachi comes out to cut a promo on him doing his usual spooky nonsense, and he instructed the House of Black to remove Copeland's wedding ring, and Kyle O'Reilly tried to make the save but got beaten down, and the House of Black destroyed Cope with chairs in the corner. It was brutal, and Copeland and Black are set to face in a barbed wire cage match at Double or Nothing, and I am looking forward to that. We then get an announcement that Eddie Kingston is injured and unable to compete in Team AEW versus Team Elite Anarchy in the arena match at Double or Nothing anymore, and we then get an interview with Dax Harwood, who of course is in that match, and he says they found a replacement for Kingston. Before we go right into the Young Bucks versus Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal, I love all four of these guys, and this was a nice little match between them. I'm always happy to see Daniels and Sydal on the TV, and this match was obviously quite predictable in the result, with the Young Bucks predictably winning the match, but the main talking point is what happened after the match, as the Young Bucks abused their EVP powers and fired Christopher Daniels on the spot as head of talent relations, which if you don't know, he legit is the head of talent relations for AEW. They tell him it's all good because he's got a whole 30 days of pay left, which people are interpreting as a reference to WWE and their no compete clauses, which yeah, could be, but also it's just any corporate setting, they're EVPs. I'm not sure it's even a reference to that. And yeah, this is interesting to see if this is the start of something for Daniels on TV, or if it's just a one-time angle, or if it's a way to write off Daniels, or if he actually has left the head of talent relations and this is the way to do it on screen. Could be any of the four. Jack Perry also spilt his Ric Flair Woo energy drink all over Tony Schiavone, and is also the first person to ever drink that drink. We get an interview with Toni Storm hyping her match with Harley Cameron, which is of course happening tonight, and she finds out that everyone is banned from ringside. No Mariah May, no Luther, and no Saraya. But up next is the return of Hook, and he's facing some jobber called Sebastian Wolf, who Hook beats in literal seconds with the Red Rum. He then gets on the mic and calls out Jericho and Big Bill, who come on out, and Hook wants his FTW title back, and Jericho responds, but not before responding to the crowd's continuous retire chants, and it's a good promo from Jericho once again, and not a bad learning tree segment, as he tells Hook he needs to win a no DQ match on Collision to earn a shot. And like I said, the learning tree has been surprisingly tolerable so far, but I just already know this is going to overstay its welcome in disastrous fashion. They get into a brawl and Shibata runs in to clear the ring and save Hook. World Champion Swerve Strickland is up next though, as he's facing Brian Cage, who of course turned on him last week, and these two have a good TV match here. It's of course another predictable win with Swerve getting the win, but it doesn't take away from the match. It was good work from these two here. I'm glad they're getting through the whole Mogul Embassy turning on Swerve quickly, like they don't need to dwell on this for multiple months, just have Swerve go over Cage like they have here before moving on. Post-match though, Swerve looks to murder Brian Cage with a chair, but is blindsided by Nick Wayne and Killswitch before Christian Cage and Mother Wayne came out and smiled as his sons destroyed Swerve, with Nick Wayne destroying a family photo of Swerve's family. Cage then cuts a promo about Swerve and Nick Wayne's history, and this is surely a match we'll be getting on the Go Home show. It just feels natural we're gonna get this, if not soon. Backstage interview with Hook and Shibata about Jericho and what just happened. Shibata says he also wants a piece of Jericho, and Hook is chatting too, but he is interrupted by the returning Samoa Joe, who is sporting a nice floral attire, and he basically tells Hook that he is a letdown and isn't meeting his potential. Shibata on Translate then says that Joe is too large to be wearing floral, which was really funny. Toni Storm versus Harley Cameron is up next, and while this was probably the weakest match of the night, it still wasn't bad. Harley Cameron looked decent once again, Toni looked her usual self, and it was okay, it was watchable. The main story was Serena Deeb coming out and watching this match. She was there just on the ramp awkwardly watching for a long while. It was okay, like I said, it was definitely watchable, definitely not as good as Mariah May versus Harley Cameron from the previous week, but Toni Storm of course picks up the win with Serena Deeb watching on. I'm looking forward to that match at Double or Nothing as well. We get a promo segment with Roderick Strong, the Kingdom, and Wardlow, of course, all of the Undisputed Kingdom, and they're chatting with Will Ospreay, who is challenging Roddy for the international title at Double or Nothing. This was a good segment, nice build to the match, nice promo from Ospreay. I am very surprised they're doing this match and that Ospreay is getting a shot at this belt, because I think a lot of us imagined that he'd be facing Swerve at All In for the world title. Unpopular opinion though, I wouldn't actually mind Ospreay winning the international title and then facing Swerve at All In to unify both the belts, because AEW for me has too many men's singles titles, like we don't need 4 of them. But also I would like to see Roddy have more of a reign, so I probably see him winning. Roddy gets personal, bringing up Ospreay's family life, and Ospreay says he's going to show the world why he's on another level. Nice to see a promo not get a beatdown and a save angle right after. And next up we have Mercedes Moné and Willow Nightingale doing a contract signing for their TBS title match at Double or Nothing. Last week these two did backstage interviews which didn't do much for me, and I wanted to see them talking in the ring in front of a crowd, so I'm glad that we got that here. Interesting crowd reactions, as Mercedes had a very split reaction, whereas Willow was getting a full babyface reaction. Willow cut a great babyface promo, and Mercedes' promo wasn't bad either, but it was still a bit of a WWE-ish kind of promo. I don't really know how to explain it, and I couldn't tell if she's trying to be a face or a heel, but at least to me, it seemed like she was leaning towards heel, and with the reaction she was getting with a split reaction from the crowd and how over Willow is, I'm hoping AEW go full heel with Mercedes Moné. Regardless, this segment ends with Willow Nightingale powerbombing Mercedes through the table for a huge pop, a great moment and end to the segment. I am buzzing for this match. Anyway, it's main event time, as is Dax Harwood versus Kazuchika Okada, and this match was good. I was maybe hoping for a little more, but I get they've got a big match next week and they don't need to go all out. But it was a good paced match, great sequences throughout the match, and a really great finishing sequence too, a really smart finishing sequence after Okada grabbed his belt, then chucked it away to distract the referee, who went to retrieve it, then a low blow and a rainmaker, and the win for Okada is picked up. After the match, we of course get Danielson and Cash jumping the ring after there was a post-match beatdown, AEW trademark, and the numbers game gets to them from the Bucks and Okada, but in comes Darby Allin and he takes out everyone, and he will be the new 4th man for Team AEW in Anarchy in the Arena, and that's how we close the show. Okay, where do we begin? Because I love Darby Allin, but should he be in this match? He just broke his ankle and got hit by a bus, and he himself, post-show, said that he's not 100%. Yeah man, he does not need to be rushed back for this. Do any other wrestler on the stacked roster. Why not just get Ricky Starks or Rey Fenix or someone like that? Any of them could fit into Team AEW. Overall though, decent Dynamite. I don't actually think it was good as last week's Dynamite. I enjoyed last week's Dynamite more than this week's, but it was a solid show, good builder to Double or Nothing, and I'm hoping for a strong go home show. But AEW I feel like aren't very known for having strong go home shows. But that's it from me. Like the video if you did enjoy it guys, and subscribe to be the first to see next week's AEW review. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye and keep on rolling.